So one of the first things I want to do is we're going to add some labels, so I don't necessarily need that political party identification up there. So I'm going to single click it, right click it, and see if I can delete it. And sure enough, it does. It does really nice. It expands our plot all the way around. So we have these kind of two different values. I'm going to go here and I'm going to change some of this other information here. Let's click on this particular plot. Or the x-axis. So if you just single click it, what you'll get is the categories, and categories put in these really wide margins, and we don't really need that. So let's get rid of the lower margin and just make it 1, the upper margin and make it 1, and that'll stretch that out a little bit more and give us a little bit better map. One other thing that I'd like to do is I'd like to kind of make this, give us a little bit more gap. So I'm going to put that about like that, maybe even just a little bit more. Good. And so the next thing that I want to do is I want to change these kind of colors, and I need to put in some reference lines to allow us to interpret these changes better. Okay. So first, let's get the colors correct. Let's click on, if we do one click and then do another click, it'll give us both, and that's not what we want. So do one more click. Let's see. That labels us down to this party. And the lower one is the Democrats, and so Democrats are not green, they are blue. So let's make them blue now. So we'll click that middle one there and apply. You'll notice once we click out of there that the little circles are a different color, so they're a little bit different. We actually, if you do the first click, it grabs both of the little circles, then you have to click again and it just gives you the one, and again it's back to green, so let's make that one blue again. Alright, so now both of them are blue, but we need to go and make this one red, so let's click on this one, click on it again, and let's make that one red for the Republicans. We're going to click out of that. We need to fix these as well. Oh, and let's do one more click to get it isolated to the Republican circle, and then we'll do that. So after we've done that sequence, we've got the two parties and they're color-coded in the correct way. The one thing that we might want to do here is maybe we want to make these a little bit thicker. So maybe I'll click on both of those and then I'll double click, and let me see if I can do that. Line weight. So maybe I don't want 1, maybe I want 2 there, or maybe I don't want to go all the way to 2, maybe I want to just 1.5, but that gives us a little bit better plot. Okay, yeah, that looks better. The problem with the circles are, if we do the circles, let's see if we can do border width 1.5 and then apply that as well. Maybe that'll help. Okay. All right, good. So we've got kind of a little bit thicker scale, and that gives us a little bit better image. The one thing that we need is we need references. So we need to have some kind of idea of the trend here. So what I did is I went and I calculated the mean for this whole period for the two parties, and I'm going to put a reference line in there at those two mean values. So go up here, there's this kind of dash, and if you put your cursor over it, it'll say add a reference line to the y-axis. We're going to want one of those, and we're going to set the position. The position is going, the first one is going to be at 0.365, then just hit return. See what that does. While we're in there, let's make the lines, go here, we'll just keep it as 1, but let's make it a dashed line. And let's make it a red line and just apply it there. How does that work? Okay, so that's not bad. It kind of gives us an idea of whether the parties are getting closer from the mean or going away from each other. Right? That's a useful thing to have. You know what? I don't like that red. I want it just to be black and white. So I'm going to go back to lines. I'm going to change that to black and have it that way. So we get a little bit better fit. Okay. For the same thing, we're going to do down here, let's go back and add another reference line. Instead of that value, I want it at -0.322. I'm going to apply that one. I'm going to click the lines value, and I'm going to click that dashed value to give us an idea of the kind of mean value for the Democrats. And really, that doesn't look bad at all. It gives us this kind of nice plot, shows us the overlap during this extended period. But we need to put a few more text items in here, and we need to pretty it up a little bit. So let's do that over by adding some other reference lines and some labels. Okay, so I want to put a few text boxes in here. I want to label these and put a little label that you'll need to put in there. So the first one I'm going to do is RNC. And again, that's just by clicking up here, there'll be a little one that says insert text box. Click that one, put it there. RNC is fine. Let's double click on that again. Let's go down here and do this. You can grab that corner and you can put it down to about right there. If you grab the other corner over there, puts it right about there. And that looks reasonably good. Let's put another text box in. Here we'll do DNC. Okay. From here, let's click on that box and let's do the arrows again. Let's put it down about there. Alright, and let's grab the other one and put it, I don't know, right about there. And let's do, let's get it closer. Actually, maybe that's the best way to do it. Something like that. And I think that one's also about the same range. Okay. Alright, so good. We've got RNC, DNC, so we're notifying the reader that this is the RNC, DNC. And let's put one more text box in. And this one is going to be plot by Hendershot. What I want you to do is I want you to create your own label for yourself. Let's put that over here. And let's grab the other corner and put it in here. And let's put it just all the way down in that corner. And so I want you to create one text box and tell me that this plot is by you. And so put whatever your last name is in there. And by the time we're done with that, we've got our proper image. We have some text boxes in there. We have the means established, and we have a useful plot. Let's do one final thing. I want to put two more reference lines in. The first, let's set the first to 1928, which is going to be the Great Depression. All right. That's the other realignment event that we're interested in. Okay. And then let's do one more. I'm going to do the year of 1980, because if you look at the literature, they say that something happened between President Carter and President Reagan. And that was kind of the process. So we'll put two of these in here. Let's put two more titles in. I'm going to put New Deal in here. Hit return. Grab that. I'm going to go here. Let me see if I can. Oops, don't want to do that. Let me just do this. Okay, now that I got it a little bit bigger, let's go up here to the corner. Something like that's pretty good. Let's take the other corner and let's just put it in about there. Okay. And then let's do one more text box. Let's do Reagan. And let's grab that one. Do it up there, about there, and let's do that one about there. And let's make it a little bit tighter than that. How about that? All right, so we have our finalized plot. We have a plot that tells us the Republicans and Democrats. It tells us when the New Deal started. It tells us when the Reagan era started, and it tells us who made the plot. Okay, so the plot's finalized. All we need to do now is we just need to export it into our Word document that we're going to eventually submit with your assignment. So we're in the kind of graphics editor here. We need to close out, and that'll put it in this file. You can go ahead and save this. I saved this to the desktop along with the other bit of information. All we're going to do is we're going to right-click, copy special, get rid of plain text and rich text, and just do the image file. So it'll do a JPEG or a PNG file, PNG, portable network graphic file. Click OK. Then minimize, and on my desktop I've got the Word document template that I gave you for the assignment. It's down here. I'm just going to open it. You'll see the front page is kind of the header stuff. Complete your name information. These are the section headings that you're going to revise, and then just put the text in to complete your paper. Here's your reference section. I already have one of them in there for you with those DW nominate scores that we just plotted. Here's the first figure with the 4 plots in it, or the 4 parties in the 2 dimensions. And then this is the plot where we're going to put the realignment. So just simply kind of insert your cursor there and hit paste, and lo and behold, it created what we were looking for. So let's do page width, and if you go down here and look, we've got party overlap and polarity after the Civil War realignment, and we have our graphic. That's what we need to do the image file, and so you should be complete. You can click out of that. It'll look good, and everything will print out fine. That completes the lesson.